Hello and welcome to our podcast, Free Brown Ladies.
That's who we are. Girls. Girl power.
And ladies.
Talking about girl power, the topic of conversation today is all things periods, hormones, menstrual cycle, menopause. Taboo subjects, we're going to get them out in the open and talk about them freely.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's sometimes there's this really stigma around periods and people don't feel very embarrassed to talk about it, but every woman needs to know that every woman goes through it. It doesn't matter who you are, you will go through it, won't you, Ben?
Especially the little girls, who are very young, like 13, 15 or something like that. They get really embarrassed when we are like a grown up. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You go. We all have the embarrassment moments where you done something stupid.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing sometimes.
But the weird thing is, you talk about it a lot when you're younger because you're learning about it and you don't know about it. But then as you get older, people talk about it less and less. But actually, all women have completely different journeys with periods. So I'm very lucky, thank God, bless. I don't actually have that heavy of a period and my whole menstrual cycle is quite easy to deal with. But Kieran's is a complete opposite, and my friend had the same issue at work where she would literally leak every time. Like she couldn't, it'd be like if she wasn't changing within 2 hours, it should be leaking down her leg. So, yeah, it was really, really difficult for her. And it was so hard for me to understand because my period was the complete opposite. So, there's not enough help out there for people who have these differences. And not many people are talking about it. As you get older and older, they just kind of have to deal with it on their own.
And people don't realise how costly it all is. Like,
It's very costly.
I go through, like, because obviously my periods are quite heavy and not necessarily, like, not everything works for me. So I do use tampons, but sometimes, tampons are good. They make you feel, like, nice, but, like, they're always, like, I have to be changing them quite regular, and I have to have what are they called? A daily
Panty
liner in as well as a tampon, because sometimes it still does leak. So I still have to have those precautions because I would rather be safe than sorry. But you have to think, panty liners plus tampons plus sanitary towels. The sanitary towels that I like to use are very big ones. I don't like to use the thin ones because I like big ones just because because my periods are so heavy, it holds everything in. So but depending on your period, it could be very light. So depending on what certain towels you use, and then I use different size tampons as well.
Yeah.
Mainly the pink one. We use Lilettes, and that's pink, and I use the pink and green ones because the green ones are they're quite thick, so you can use it for long ones. Whereas the pink ones I use for more when you're starting your period and
when you're
ending.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've learned going through my periods, but I don't think it's talked about enough. So girls, you need to find what's right for you and what's suitable for your body. It's not always going to be the same for each person. So like Kieran said, with tampons, we use Lilits, which are self-applicant, and we find them more comfortable for us. So just find out what's comfortable for you. Don't do what
and also
everyone
when
else
you're
is
younger
doing.
I was really scared to use tampons.
Everyone
my
is.
mum
It's
was like, "Oh, just
thing.
don't care, like it's fine." And I used to be so scared. And
Yeah.
at first, you're like, "Oh my god, it really hurts and stuff."
But you have to relax when you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you have to
I
be
think,
heavy enough.
I remember, yes, it's like another thing is like as a mother, mother listen to this, you sometimes you have to go with your girl into the bathroom and show them how to do it, physically show them, do it for them.
Even if that means like having to put it in for them that first
couple of times, because they get, it's something like the little girl, they
get so scared.
They don't feel happy.
Comfortable.
They're embarrassed and uncomfortable. So it's like as a mom, you just try to make them ease and make them understand it's natural, doesn't matter. It'll help them to this. If one like Amy and girls are saying, if one thing doesn't help them, just bring something different. So make sure
You have to find what works for you.
Yeah. So as
And what company? Because there's quite a few different companies. Like
I think it's the personal. I would go for a the decent quality, because quality is really important. If you go for a cheaper quality, it can give you rashes.
And cause
reactions. So it's like you're gonna be wet all the time underneath.
It's not nice
especially in the
feeling.
night. Especially if you got heavy period, and that the wetness can cause a lot of reaction,
infections and stuff
in your skin. So which is like you need to be very, very careful. And it's just, if the young girls, especially if you feel something not right, make sure you speak to your parent. They're the first person you should be speaking. If you're speaking with your friends, that's fine, but depends the friend, they're going the same kind of the ride as you. They might not have any experience.
They might not have all the answers. One thing I definitely advise everyone, even young and old, is just to know the flow of your period. So when it comes to tampons, you should actually be using different sizes throughout your flow. So like if you're on heavier flow, you should be using heavier tampons, and then as you get lighter, you need to actually change, so you don't use the same coloured tampon throughout, which some people do that, and it's actually dangerous as well, because you have to be careful with tampons, because you should never, obviously they say never insert them when you're not on your period. So like if you're young girls, do not try tampons like just willy-nilly. Only ever do it if you're on your period. And you have to be, you have to have a certain flow for it to work. So if you're not that heavy and you're sticking a really thick tampon up there, it's going to cause
it's going to hurt as well.
Discomfort, and also causes that infections.
Yeah, because it needs to be nice and moist.
There needs to be enough moisture on there.
So it's like don't be afraid. It won't kill you, but be careful.
Get advice from people who done it before and are older. And another thing I think is really important that not many people talk about is the hygiene related to it. So obviously it's natural and all of that, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you're hygienic with it. So top tips from me is, like Kieran, use panty liners throughout the whole periods, and just generally day to day, it's nice to have panty liners there for hygiene reasons. I think it's great, and change that throughout the day and daily with that. And then I also think it's important to clean your downstairs areas in between changes. So if you're using sanitary towel to, clean down your areas with water throughout your changes. And when you're changing your tampon, clean your area down there. Because, realistically, you've got, let's just talk about it. You've got blood coming out. When you're really heavy as well, it's coming out. It can come out in your vagina, and you might not have completely cleaned the area with the tissue. So it's good, I think, and what I do is clean it.
Yeah, but you can't always clean it. Only when you're at home, really.
Yeah.
That's it. When you come home,
as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely
in the morning you can, and then when you come back
when
home,
you're
out and about,
just always try and clean. I would say try and change regularly.
Change regularly.
Don't keep the same pad in. It's not very good. It's not hygienic for you, and it doesn't feel good, does it? You have to even if I've worn it and there's a little bit of stuff there, I always try and change it.
Same with tampons, you actually have to change that regularly. You can't just leave it in.
Normally it's normally say the max hours you can
2, isn't it?
No, I think it's 4, 5.
Yeah, 5 to 6 probably.
5 to 6.
Some green ones can stay
I cannot. My tampons doesn't matter what size it is. I have to change it after 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, because the hose is really heavy. If you're not heavy,
but you feel it
you can feel the weight.
Yeah, if it once you feel that means it's time to change.
Yeah, so if you feel the weight, the tampon,
it will start to hurt.
Coming down.
Yeah,
that is the time you just also another trick is like when you going for a wee and some blood start coming through, and that's the way you need to change that. That's
It's
another
ready
way.
time to
Yeah,
change.
so don't try to just ignore it, otherwise you're gonna
Harm yourself as well.
it's not harm, but
It's just
gonna
not nice.
it
And it
will
smells.
It
suppress,
is. There's that disease
It's also
that you
like-
can get from it. I forgot what
Is
it's called.
it?
TDS or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
They got it on the tampon package.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you're putting it in and you're not on your period, that can actually cause harm
yeah,
inside.
because it's
And if you're not
dry.
changing it regularly, that can cause harm inside. So girls, read the
So-
packaging. Be careful.
So be careful.
Also, what was I gonna say? Because of the smell as well. You don't want always that, because it's not a very nice smell.
No.
So you want to make sure you're changing constantly, cleaning regularly, because you don't want
be as
to.
hygienic as possible.
Yeah, like I know it's kind of like I don't know about you guys, but I have like this like little period like bag, and I have like all my periody stuff in it, and I always like. Because I can't be bothered to take my whole bag to the toilets, when I'm at work and stuff. So I just take my little bag with me to my work.
Yeah, it's
to
really
the
good
toilet.
actually. It's like a little makeup-y type
Yeah, it's like a makeup-y bag.
period bag, and
It's
I
like-
love it. I think it's a really good idea.
And I always take that little bag. Obviously, everyone in the office can see me taking this little like bag. So like I just don't care, because at the end of the day, like
You're a woman.
I'm a woman. I'm gonna take. I need to change and
Yeah.
to make sure I'm clean.
Yeah, just my little thing is because of your time of the month and your hormones, doesn't matter if you are young or old, your hormones become an imbalance. Basically, because a lot of blood coming out from your body, and inside is everybody, all your cells thinking, oh, what happened here? They try to panic. So best thing, eat. Be a good like habit eating. Diet needs to be really good. Eat extra if you can, but make sure, try to take advice from your doctor. But I always, and my girls, I always encourage them to eat a vitamin B12 or complex. So that's kind of a reducing little nervous to help you not getting too stressed.
Balance your hormones, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's my advice to you guys.
And also, there's iron tablets as well, because obviously you're losing a lot of iron during that. So if you feel like more fatiguey and tired, then you can also take iron supplements to help as well.
Especially Asian girls, we have a deficiency of iron.
Yeah.
So, again, go to the doctors, go to the nurse and check your iron and check your hormones, like, imbalancing, and you can buy this over the counter anyway, so you don't need to go to, special place.
To get a prescription. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about hormones then, obviously we all know that they do affect us when you get on your periods, and that's just
You become
natural.
more tired, you become more moody, because you're losing blood and your body just gets exhausted. So learn this, like my youngest one daughter, Kiran, she didn't understand her body, and she used to carry it on, and I used to say, come, have a little rest. So if you try to have a little rest when you are on your heavy periods, especially. Take a little care about yourself and your mind as well. Try to listen to nice music so your mind can.
And like with cramps, because sometimes I get really bad period cramps, and there's sort of things that will never go, if you know what I mean. So you just have to get like a water bottle, just kind of hug it a little bit, and I just kind of, because they kind of, for me, they kind of come and go, so they'll come for a bit and they like really hurt and then they'll go. So the only thing that you can do is the water bottle thing.
Yeah, I agree. So just like find out what's causing you pain, like Mum said, listen to your body and then put a solution in place, because at the end of the day, we've all got them, they come every month, so we have to kind of deal with them in the best way possible and help our bodies to get through them, and just give ourselves the love and appreciation that we need during that time. Just get ready for it, be prepared, do what you need to do. Because there's sometimes that with hormones, it makes me feel really tired and exhausted. So I know I'm really hardworking, but I know if I push my body during those times, it's only a couple of days as well. It's not worth it in the long run, so I'll take a rest. Even sometimes with exercise, I like to regularly exercise, but if I'm having a particularly hard period day, I'll just sit it out. I know what's best for my body in the long run.
And also, try not to have a sex when you're on the period. I'm not sure exactly, but as a Indian, we don't feel like right and hygienic. So I haven't done the what is the scientific, what is the
Scientific.
the
Research.
but just like we don't believe like you should be having sex while you're on period, and try to do that as well. It's just like a man, please stay away from the girl.
Yeah.
Just only for a few days. Manage yourself. Yeah, that's the period.
And then, so we touched on hormones. Kind of linked with that is menopause, and Mom's got a lot of experience on that. And linked with that is the hormones, isn't it? So kind of explain your journey on that.
Well, a menopause is completely different. It's it can last for 5 to 10 years. First is you become your period become irregular, and then there is a point where you can have a period for a year or 2 years, continuously, so you feel very, very tired. But because it's your hormones is imbalance, you feel so tired, very tired, and emotionally affecting you emotionally as well.
So you can have serious lows
and ups.
anger.
Yes. So sometimes you feel it's everything doing well, working, everything is okay, and you just want to cry for no reason,
But as well, actually saying that, so it's good that you're telling us about your menopause journey, but some girls out there have that in then just normal periods, or they can get to an age where they start to feel these things linked in with the periods as well. So how did you kind of deal with all of that?
I think it's the same. It's like I'm very, very cautious about my body and my mind. I always try to eat a high protein diet, so give me enough nutrition and vitamin and mineral. And I always take iron tablets and vitamin B complex regular. So I don't when I can see when I don't have the vitamin B12.
You
tablets,
get moody.
I get to really. It's hard for me to stay happier. So as we speaking, I'm still going through my things, hormones especially.
So do you don't have periods at the moment?
I don't have a period. My period has stopped, but I'm still getting these emotions and high and lows and
the after effects of menopause.
I feel like
there's weight gain as well involved.
Oh yeah,
with
not
it.
for that you can go for it. This is called therapy. I'm not sure what it's actually called. It's like a hormones therapy kind of thing, which is a tablet. It's like a pill you can have, but the side effect, you can gain weight. So I refused because I don't really want to gain weight. But menopause, actually everything slows down. Your digestion system slows down. You gain weight. Certain product doesn't work with your body, so you need to really, really careful what you're eating, what isn't working, what is working and what isn't working. That's a really it's very, very you have to write a journal what actually you eat and how you next day your body feels. If body doesn't feel right, you have to cut down.
And you can do that with your emotions as well. So do an emotional journal. So if you're feeling low on some days, just track it and then kind of have a look at, is there a cycle? Is there certain days in the month that's linked to your emotions, and to try and work with it like that.
Yeah, and also try to, if you are sad, don't try to go to the sad person, because that's gonna make it worse. So try to, if you are sad, you try to look something positive or happier, lighter, maybe watching lighter movie or comedy. So it's just what you feel. You have to go to opposite to bring yourself up. Basically, it's a very hard journey. Yeah.
It's been a
What
hard
about
journey,
what about
sure.
say like what about people who because obviously periods you get pregnant, don't you? So what about people who start when they get older, like, and they get pregnant? What do you think about that?
Oh, if I get pregnant now, it's never gonna happen. Touch wood, yeah, because you needed two people. But I feel sorry for them, to be honest. Personally, I would never want to.
I feel like there should be. Don't you think, like, after a while,
An age limit on it.
on a child, it's hard work, do you know?
No, I think it's naturally there is the menopause actually is a
It's a
natural
cycle,
way,
isn't it? Yeah.
say that's
That's
you can't
it, no more
produce
kids, yeah.
produce a kids, but unfortunately some people they still can get pregnant.
There are like freak accidents out there.
Actually, I would, if I think I just my husband, he passed away. It's gonna be 7 years, and even after he passed away, because I was so scared I'm gonna get pregnant, I had a what did I have? A coil. And I kept the coil for years, just in case, because it's in my mind, I don't want to get pregnant. So I think if you are, obviously, what you can still protect yourself. Menopause
So
doesn't
funny.
mean you're not gonna get pregnant, because you still have.
Oh, so you can still get pregnant?
Yes, you can.
Really?
As you're going through it, yeah, because you're coming off your periods. It's not like
Really?
it hasn't stopped yet.
Oh, I didn't know
Until
that. I
it's
thought you
Until
could.
it stopped.
100% is stopped.
Like, Mom's 100% stopped now, so it's pretty unlikely that she's ever going to get pregnant now.
So your periods have stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's been
you won't
how long?
you won't get pregnant now, will you?
Hopefully,
How long?
it's been 2 years.
So it's been 2 years and she hasn't had a period.
And
So,
sometimes
very
it's like
unlikely
we don't know, but it's like in that time after, you don't know how long. It's still you can have a period start again all over again.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it's like like I said, it's a 10
Oh God,
years.
it's never
Such a
ending.
journey.
It's a 10 years normally. It's depend on individual.
It's a bit of a pain.
I
I'm
know.
not gonna
Sorry,
lie.
women out there. We all have to go through it. So it's good that, like, I'm young and Kieran as well. We've seen we kind of know what we're getting ourselves into now. So it's good for young girls as well to kind of understand that one day we're going to have to go through it. But oh my God,
It's like
we
when
have to
you-
really go through it, don't
I
we?
think it's when you are
It's
easy.
just so much.
When you are young, like when you start first time, you start period. First couple of years is really, really tough, isn't it? Because you're learning, and same menopause. First,
I remember when I first started my periods were wild irregular. They were like
yeah, yours was like
they were wild weird, and then obviously it took time for them to come monthly because mine used to skip a month
Yeah, mine used to skip a month
when I was younger.
when I was young. I love them days.
They were so good.
And
Now
then
it's
slowly
every single month. It's like no break.
I
You get no breaks anymore.
I love those times.
Yeah.
And now mine come every month like clockwork.
Yeah.
But Kieran's, bless her, they start like a week before mine and then end a week after me.
It's to be
it
fair.
seems like a kid.
It's always on a period.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does feel. I feel like sometimes am I ever not on my period? Seriously, guys, it's just sometimes I'm like, oh my god.
Especially when we're on holiday. Bless them.
Every time we go on holiday, I'm always 100%. Doesn't matter what time, what year. Every single time I'm on my period,
I
aren't
know.
I? I don't think I know a holiday
You
that.
can't. You want to see her in the swimming pool. She wears nice swimming costume and sitting on the pool.
Yeah, you
wearing
gotta.
all the jewelry, all the hat, all the glasses and everything. But
She might like dip her toes.
Yeah, you gotta dip your toes in, but you To be fair, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, I can't. Like I feel like
She's her motto is "Can't be bothered."
can't be bothered.
Yeah. So girls, we feel we can feel your pain.
What about like what I was talking about earlier when women in like it's called period poverty, so women who can't afford all the sanitary and to be hygienic. What do you guys think to?
I can tell you, I came from India, and when I was growing up, in India, we didn't had any tampons or
sanitary
any
towels.
towels or something like that. We used to have a the cotton material, and obviously we were so embarrassed. We never been told in school or by mother or by elder people what to do. So we just try to figure it out between girls and try to find out how to do it. And
Who taught you about tampons?
when I got married, my sister-in-law, she gave me this tampon and said go and she told me, basically she explained me how to do it, and I was like scared. I wasted I don't know how many in the toilet. I was sitting there.
You all waste a few, don't you?
Yeah, okay, girls, don't worry if you waste a few. Don't worry. I think I wasted one packet of.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's a bit excessive. You shouldn't waste a whole packet.
And she was kind of annoyed.
She was kind of. Obviously, we were just talking about poverty. So expensive.
Oh, you wasted a whole packet.
Yeah, because it's like scary thing. It's like you feel like, oh my god, I don't want to touch. Because I am so, in my mind, if I can, in my mind, I create a picture. And if the picture isn't good, that's it, my mind would not accept anything. And that picture is dirty down there.
Your vagina's dirty.
Yeah, so I wouldn't like to touch with my hands.
Don't you just wash your hands, Mom?
Yeah, but it's like at that time that a young girl, come on, I was a young girl, and I feel like, oh, it's dirty. I'm not gonna touch it, so I try to like do it without using the hands. Come on, that's not gonna work. So girls, you need to use your hands.
You could use
That's true,
that
actually.
applicator.
That's
You could've
actually
used that
really true,
applicator.
Mom. Saying that's a really good point. I remember I used to think like that as well. I was actually scared of my own vagina. Like,
Yeah,
I used to
It's
think
gross
of it.
though, isn't it?
I used to think of it as like a separate part to me. It's so weird.
that's it. It's like
Once you embrace it and just realize part of your body, it's not dirty. Keep it clean, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
You just have to do it and wash your hands. That's it.
I think it's
Yeah.
actually important to like. I remember at school they told us. Get a mirror and look down there and look at all the different holes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
'cause
I
you
was
have
like,
to know.
these people are crazy.
Yeah, I
was
remember
like,
when I was younger.
they're telling me to put a mirror down there and look at my holes. I was like, no way.
No, it is so good because you have
But
to.
as now I'm older, I wish I did that, and then
No,
I
you have to
learn. Like, actually, there are girls. If you're young, there are 3 different holes. You got your toilet hole, you've got your vagina hole, and then you got your wee hole. So
oh, really?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
that's
the
how
wee
you
hole's
can wee when you got your
That's
tampon
a small
in.
one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because obviously when you got your tampon in,
even till
That's not even a
this
hole.
day,
It's more like a little thing.
slit,
isn't
but
it?
it's 3 holes.
the hole as a hole. Then.
Yeah, so that's why when you got your tampon in, you can still wee. That because it's 3 different holes. Anyway,
But the 2 main holes is the vagina and the other
Period.
one. Yeah.
but no, girls, it's important to know these things, and obviously,
And I think you need to look at your vagina.
I think you do.
It's a weird thing. You do
But you just
need
have
to get
to know
your
what's
mirror.
going on down there.
You have to know
And
what it
actually-
looks like, don't you? So you know each part,
And that's why I could never get mine in, because Mum used to be like, "Feel for it," and I was like, I have no idea what I'm feeling for." I was like, I genuinely don't know.
You know when you said you have to put it all the way in. I used to obviously never put it. I used to like.
You used to like part it in, so it's like half poking
I used
out,
to just like poke it in, and then it would still be half out.
and that's actually really painful.
Yeah,
as
it
well.
was really painful. So I was like, I
make
didn't
sure-
like it.
yeah.
So you have to actually put
Push.
the whole thing in and make sure your fingers all the way gone in. Otherwise, it's not gonna stay.
It's like inside. Actually, imagine it's a pipe inside, and you just try to block the pipe.
Yeah,
So you
that's
have
basically
to,
what it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you have to put the finger.
You have to proper put it
And
in.
use your middle
Middle
finger,
finger.
isn't it?
And
Yeah.
middle finger is stronger
And longer.
and longer as well. So make sure you.
Which
just
one?
make-
I use this one.
Try and use that one. You just
I-
push it in.
No, I prefer this one because I put the tampon on top and then gone.
Mum's always taught me that one, and you push it in, so you can go
Yeah, I
right
just
in
put it
like that.
Oh, okay.
So another thing, like the girls make sure the right. You're putting it into the right holes as well. So
It's pretty obvious.
It's not
is
art. I had no
You
idea.
have to feel for it first.
Yeah.
And then you know. Once you know, you know.
Get your mom, honestly, get your mom to help you.
I think that looking at the
Looking in the mirror.
I think that's a really
Maybe
good thing.
look online images. Try and actually understand
and
your
feel.
vagina.
I know this sounds weird, but it's
You
feel,
have to feel
for
for
it.
it.
You just have to do it because otherwise you're
You're
not
never
gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
It's gonna be weird at first because you're like, ew, like creepy.
Yeah, you have to touch it.
You have to touch it.
Yeah, it's just like that's part of you.
That's
as
such a good
Amy
point.
said.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I always used to be so scared of my own vagina.
Yeah, same. I used to like not want to touch it.
It's like even me.
I remember when I told, like one time I was like just really scared. I showed my mom, and you know your little flaps. I was really scared, and then my mom saw it, and she was like, "That's just your vagina, you silly." Like I thought it was like my vagina was like weird, but it's just
The
like,
first time you see an image of a vagina, or like you look down there, you're like, ew, that's
it's
scary.
scary. It's just a big like slit thing, and you're just like like loads of like flaps, and God knows what's going on. But you just like at the end of the day, every vagina is different.
Yeah. And
Like-
everyone's got a vagina, and it's part of you. So just learn to love it and embrace it, and deal with the issue. That's so funny. That's such a cute story that you wasted a whole pack of tampons. What were you doing? Were you just putting them in?
I tried to not, I try to put it, but to make sure my hand doesn't, my finger doesn't touch my vagina. And
You could have got an applicator one.
And then when
and that time they were,
Oh,
they
there
wasn't
wasn't
there.
that.
Now you can have it now, but that
I don't like
days-
the applicator.
I don't. They hurt
And
me
then
as well.
actually the last one she actually told me off, and she said do it, and I said I'm not gonna do it. I was scared for a while, and then a couple of months later she. My husband, he was crazy. Honestly, he was the craziest one. He said, "I'll come and help you." I said, "No," and he was sitting outside them two, and they was telling me, "Do this, do that," and I said, "Okay, all right," and then I done it.
Dad was so cute, wasn't he?
My husband, he was crazy, man.
He was so supportive. He was a
Yeah.
sweet man, but
He was, he had a really.
he wasn't scared about these things.
Yeah.
He
Now he was
understood-
just like he tried to help you.
Yeah, he understood that they were natural.
Yeah.
Obviously, some men aren't that comfortable with it.
No, but he was like kind of want to be part of everything. That we do. Even if you don't want him, he'll be there. He'll be there for you.
Outside the door saying, "How are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh, come on, it's easy. Even like when I was pregnant with my son, and he was like, "Oh, it's easy. Giving the birth is so easy. So you have to do this. You have to do that." And I said, "Okay, come with me. You just why don't you do it?"
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Oh, that was a good topic. Do you think we've covered all bases?
Yeah.
I've talked about periods, young girls, hygiene, menopause.
And don't get embarrassed. Like, you
Yeah.
know, remember when in school, like, you would always, like, be really scared to do the of, like, the pads and
Yeah.
stuff. But now, like, if you go into a toilet now, like, I'm always like, like,
Taking off a tampon,
yeah.
So basically, what she's trying to say is like you try to do secretly.
Yeah.
Make sure no one's here. Like, if anyone's there, you just wait until they're gone.
And it used to be like embarrassing to like say you're on your period, but then,
Oh my god, yeah. I used to hate that.
But then some girls in school were really open with it. They'd be like, "I'm on my period," and you're like, "Whoa!" And then it makes you feel more comfortable that everyone's going through it.
yeah.
And you're like,
And
"Oh, she's on her period." I can, I
everyone
can
goes
tell
on their
them."
period,
Yeah.
so don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, because it's gonna happen to you.
And if you have been or if you ever leaked, it's a natural thing. Don't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
I remember I leaked, and I used to get nightmare because it's like, you know, you feel like it's not a real, not a nice thing to go through. Yeah, so it's just like, you know, we all have the experience. We all have the bad thing happen to every.
When it comes to periods, I bet everyone's gone through the exact same thing as everyone.
And also, it's important to understand that it's ever evolving. So, like, my periods now are very different to my periods even a couple of years ago. So they'll just keep changing throughout your life, won't they?
Yeah. Like hormones changing all the time.
So all the mothers, please let your girls know what is coming to
ahead.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your mirrors.
Yeah, I think when they, you know, especially when they are age of 12.
Teenagers,
Yeah, I think starting from 12, some girls starting 13 or 14 or whatever, but average.
How old were you when you started yours?
Yeah. I think probably 13.
I think I was
That's
about 12.
late. I think I started like 11, 12.
I think
it was about 12, 13.
Yeah.
I remember.
No, I was 12. I was definitely, because I remember I was in year 7. Like
so just 12, yeah.
No, just before I turned, because it was before we went to Lanwieg, I remember.
Okay, so yeah, about 11, 12. That's about right. That's about the age.
Yeah.
They teach you in year 6 when you're 11, so they know you're about to
I
start.
felt so sorry for some of the girls that started in year 5.
Some people start year 5 when they're 10.
Oh really? Yeah. So it's like, you know,
there'd be like one or
no
two that would have already started.
Probably.
But most people start 12 onwards, so they teach you in year 6 because they know it's about to start the next year.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I think it's girls.
And what we went into separate rooms. Like I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, they separated the girls. I don't know what they talk about in the boys' room, but in the girls' room, it's all about periods.
I'm sure they talked about like condoms, stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
But like for girls, it was just pads. We were just talking about pads.
Period. Then I remember they said about the mirror thing, and I was like, "Whoa, you crazy! I don't want a mirror."
I remember the mirror thing because I was like, "That's weird," and then you were like, "No, it's not." And then I was like, "Oh, okay."
Right. Yeah. I think we've done it. We talk about enough of the period.
I know it's a bit of a like
taboo,
but I think every woman should just be more open with the periods because everyone goes through it.
And I do think people are, like, especially friends. Like, I know my friends probably tell me it's too much information. I'm like, I don't want to know. But, like, I think within friends, girls...
But it's not openly discussed.
Yeah, but it's not openly discussed in life,
Yeah, we need
society.
Because everyone goes through it, bless us women. I don't know how we deal with it all the time.
We just deal with it, don't we? Because we
have to.
Yeah.
It's annoying though, sometimes.
Yeah, it is. You just think, oh, for God's sake, here it comes again.
We're like, oh, God, again.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Alright then.
Okay, while we are in a good mood, I think we'll say goodbyes to us
before our period kicks in and we'll get all moody again.
Yeah. Okay then. Bye.
Bye.